I'll start this video like I start a lot of my controversial videos and say, I don't give a fuck what you do, alright? Knock yourself out. I just want to speak on why I may never get married. Okay, so first of all, let's just hop right into it. Marriage is a business decision, alright? And who better to tell you that than the divorcees, alright? What they say, 51% of marriages don't work out, somewhere the halfway mark, close to 50%. Now, we can speak on all the reasons, but the number one reason I believe that has been documented is over money, okay? And here's the thing, how I talk about marriage being a business decision and also that, you know, marriages fail because of money. And here we go. Oh, I love this person so much that I want to be bonded to you for the rest of my life. You know, I want to be bound to you through love and sickness and all these things. And I get that. But we start the marriage off by pretty much making a bad business decision. Alright, what do we do? It's called a wedding and a honeymoon. Alright? People spend $10, $20, $100,000 for one day and a vacation of sorts. And I'm like, from a business aspect, even if I could swing it, and a lot of people, they go through hell and high water to swing it, I wouldn't do that. Hey, look, there's a park, everybody gather around, alright? Here's the first thing we're gonna do with all this money that we're not gonna spend on the goddamn wedding and honeymoon, alright? We're gonna invest like crazy. We're gonna invest in our business, alright? This is our child. Okay? This is how I think marriages should start off. And I don't think everybody's quite there yet. So right now you have a lot of people, a lot of millennials just not wanting to get married altogether. For multiple reasons, but I mean, a lot of people I know have already gotten married and divorced. A lot of people around my age, so that should tell you something. But my ideal marriage is that I'm getting married to somebody who has an entrepreneurial mindset, who's not going to get caught up in all these bells and whistles and, you know, just, oh yes, this is the greatest day of my life, we are so dressed up to the nines and we're so beautiful and we spent so much money on doves and like, I get it. I'm a fan of beauty. I'm a fan of pretty things, beautiful things. I am. But I don't think that it should come at a steep price tag, man. And I just feel like, again, the money that we would spend on that, we can invest, make greater lives for us, so we don't have to have our highlight be summed up in one day, you know. So the highlight of our marriage isn't in one day, you know. And a lot of people, man, they fall from grace, they fall from the heavens, they fall from that highlight reel because it's just like all downhill. It's like after this day plus the 5 to 7 we spend in a honeymoon, it's back to real life. It's back to serious business. Business as we knew it, alright? So we use the wedding and the honeymoon as a type of escape. Whereas I feel like even if you could pull that off, I feel like the goal is to build a life that's kind of an extended honeymoon of sorts. Now, we don't just waste away, but we don't have to live for the weekend, for example. I mean, not necessarily, but you see where I'm getting. We don't have to live for the vacations. We don't have to live for the weekends, just like we didn't have to live for the honeymoon. Ideally, if we're getting into a marriage, because it's not all about love, although we can love each other, I'm with that. But you can also love somebody and just never get married, you know? But anyway, you know, we build this business together, something that we can pass on to our children. Alright, we never have to fight over money because money is plenty. Oh yeah, I don't think I finished up my my hypothetical situation. I'm getting married. We're getting married because we already business savvy. We already saved up a great deal of money. Reason why we getting married anyway. Now we want to make everything official. All right. So then we bring our resources together. You got your resources. I got my resources. And we grow from there. Now, real quick, because I don't want to forget this one. I'm somewhat traditional in the marriage aspect, where it's like, if I earned enough, I wouldn't mind. I'm perfectly fine with the woman being in the house and take care of the things I don't want to take care of. Take care of the things that I don't want to take care of, because I hate washing clothes. I hate cleaning up. I don't prefer to cook. All of those things, but also I really don't mind if I'm married to somebody who makes more money than me. I'm not insecure about things like that. I would kind of prefer it. Like, I would love to be around somebody who's at a level where I'm not, because I'm going to aspire to get there anyway. And with the amount of trauma that I've been through in my life, I don't really want to be the workhorse and the cash cow and all of that. I don't mind completely, but it's because of all of the trauma that I went through. I'm not a big fan of everybody relying on me, although as a man, this is what I signed up for. And so if it's what I have to do, then I'll do it. And you won't get a complaint out of me, but I like the idea of both of us bringing in that bread, all right? There's nothing wrong with a woman bringing in that bread, and I don't want her to take care of me in that regard. I don't need a woman to take care of me. But if you're making that money, you got an entrepreneurial mindset, I'm with it. In fact, I'm attracted to that, man. I'm very much attracted to just go-getters, ambitious women. All right, so, and even more so if we running a business together, like when we talk about marriage, if we got that going, like we not breaking up. All right, we got business going for us. All right, we passing on this entrepreneurial mindset to our children. There you go. That's all you really need. But people get so caught up in this love thing. Marriage isn't a scam, but we've been scammed into marriage. I should have started off by saying that, man, because I was thinking about this. Like, we get scammed into marriage, man, because it's big business. All right, you know people gonna get paid off of your marriage. All right, photographers, DJs, whoever got them doves in the. I don't know if doves are a part of it. I gotta pick on the dove community. Shout out to them pigeons. But the reverend, the pastor, whatever, the hotel, everyone involved with the honeymoon, like, money's being made. Oh, and don't let me get started on the rings. All right, the jewelers and all that. God damn. Then you need an engagement one, and then you need a one for the marriage, and it's already been documented that this was a marketing strategy to get people to spend 3 months salary on the ring. What was it? Somebody help me out there. Three paychecks on the ring. Who defined that? All right. And when you figure out who did that, and you figure out who put that together, see what their interest is in all of this. They making money off you. That's what their interest is. All right. And that notion has not left the minds of the people, hasn't left the paradigm. All right, so we are still in the thinking that we have to spend all this money on a ring. So god damn. And this is why a lot of our marriages fail. It's because once we buy into all this linear thinking, all these smoke and mirrors, and how we think it's supposed to be, as you hear many times, the honeymoon phase wears off. It's over. You're back to real life and arguing over bills and not having emotional energy for each other at a time, because we working this job. I'm working this job. She working this job. Layoffs happen. The bills start to become more and more and more, because our heads were in the clouds. We weren't thinking, with our minds. We weren't thinking longevity really, but we were thinking from a matter of scarcity. We were thinking with a scarcity mindset, which got us into this problem. Now, when we talk about other aspects of marriage, and I almost feel like a child talking about this, but I'm 28 years old. I'm 28, all right? There used to be a time people get married at 15 or whatever. And man, and like I said, a lot of people that I know, they got married at 21, all these things. But I'm 28. I have a decent head on my shoulders, if I'm being modest. And seeing the lack of maturity with my peers as far as women go, I'm not picking on anybody, all right? The men are immature too. But just seeing, you know, where their minds are, it's all about the looks, man. It's all about the glamour and all that. The perfect, like I said, the perfect woman for me, if we cannot be shallow here, entrepreneurial mindset, all right, is willing to take sacrifices for the sake of longevity, all right? And that's the only way marriage is going to work anyway, if you think longevity. You know, a lot of marriages consist of people just sucking it up and just rolling with the punches, but not necessarily putting matters into their own hands. All right, so this is not the video for fidelity and all of that and infidelity. I'm not even going to speak on that aspect, but that is a big part of it. And you know, a lot of us bought into the monogamy aspect, and I understand that. Me personally, with all the STDs out here, I can get along with the monogamy. It doesn't have to be like that, but we will have to define why it's even going to be just the two of us, and if we can get on with just being us for the rest of our lives. And I think that if we lay it out all on the table, and it's not just some physical attraction and you know, smitten and all that, then I think we will be able to work it out. But as much as people make marriage about your heart, it's your mind. Your mind should be there, man, because when shit hits the fan and you can't rely on the person next to you, and your connection isn't recession proof, if it isn't shit proof, then you know you're going to crumble. So you got to make sure that it's built on a solid foundation. And I think solving the business aspect will really tie it all together. So, yes, there's definitely room for love in marriage, but if you don't have a business mindset about it, then you may be destined to fail. All right, because the honeymoon does fade. All right, it does for a lot of us. The statistics say for half of us, and I'm not even talking about all the fidelity and shit like that. But you know, you keep the attraction going with just by keeping things fresh. We grow tired of the monotony in every aspect, and then we start thinking to ourselves, it's like, damn, what did I get myself into? And you start seeing all these other beautiful women. You know, grass is always greener. You start seeing all these other young, ambitious women out here getting it, and you know, you go home to somebody just nagging all the time. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm picking on the women, but I'm just kind of speaking from a guy's aspect. I'm sure women have their own thing too, you know, getting married to a dog or whatever, you know, basically. You know, it was attractive when you were younger, but now you see he ain't gonna change his ways. I just throw that in there. But you know, you start thinking things like that when things aren't going your way, all right? And even if you are in the type of relationship where it's definitely has some business to it, it's definitely business oriented, even if not completely, you want to know that you can be able to rely on the person beside you when things get real. All right, so that needs to be established way before you even think about getting married. And where I am right now, I'm definitely in no rush. All right, I'm 28 years old. I could get married at 50 for all I care. But I really want it to be something more than just we love each other, because there's a lot of people I love right now that I can't stand. It's a lot of people that I love right now that I probably won't speak to for the rest of my life, keeping it real, or that I just can't stand to be around, or never will be around, or you know, or probably never think about it anymore. I don't know, but all I'm saying is, you hop into something like that, you better know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Looks fade the way you see them. The way somebody looks right now will change. the love may die down. So you have to think about legacy, longevity, and all that, and make sure you got yourself a real running mate and you're not just settled. That's the best way I can put it. And I have high standards, but they're not unrealistic standards, and I will hold out for something like that. There's no point in settling for something I don't want. Like, loneliness is loneliness. I'm going to experience it if I'm completely by myself or if I'm with the wrong person. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, By all means, if you want to get married, get married. I'm not a doomer over here. I'm just in your ear. That's it. But alright, take care, y'all.